Hello, 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 and welcome to the Reel McCoy. I'm Meffistoe, and with me, my everlasting hetero life mate. Oh, my feelings. Good evening, sir. What is the Reel McCoy podcast? The Reel McCoy podcast is your book club of the week or movie club of the week. Every single week, every single Saturday, we are discussing a different movie. Beforehand, a week beforehand, we send you off and explore a movie if you haven't seen it, and if you have, just watch it again, just to refresh it in your mind, and we endlessly discuss it and break it down to absolute dust. Along the way, we had a few segments to break things off and break the monotony off, and we will start with a fantastic movie, The Big Lebowski by the Coen brothers. A few words from you before I start my spiel.
It's in my top 10 films of all time. It might be my favorite comedy of all time. I love this movie. As I told you before when we started back screen, I've watched this movie in the last week 6 times again, and I had a blast every single time. I watched it 2 times today. I love this movie.
Big Lebowski. I don't remember if I mentioned it live last week. I think I did. I've watched this movie in a variety of ways. I've watched it when it premiered on a big screen, like not really an IMAX, but a big screen. I've watched it at not a real like a drive-in, but it was a park with grass. There's no cars, but a massive screen. I've watched it on like mobile phone. I've watched it on TV, on CRT TV, on a big screen TV, all which way around it. But this movie, if I take out the Star Wars saga, it literally is my number 2 movie of all time. Yes, yeah. It's a bit weird. Yes, you don't get it on the first go, but something is there. I've watched this for the first time. I was like blown away. I didn't know what's going on, and it kind of ends abruptly. You would say, not really tying up the story, not really tying up the story.
It does tie it up, but in a way where it's like, oh, this is kind of sad and sardonic, but in a way, that's how life goes, and that's kind of the way the dude is. In the end, it's like, well, the dude abides. It's like that's his life. It's a very c'est la vie sort of attitude,
I agree. It sort of ends, and then you want to watch this guy's life just a little bit more.
You want to see if they win the fucking finals, man.
Exactly. We are like, all right, synopsis. So synopsis of this movie. The dude, and we'll start with the action. So the dude kind of gets back home, was assailed by two aggressors that mistakenly think he's Mr. Lebowski.
The other Lebowski, yeah.
The other Lebowski, the Big Lebowski.
Side note, do you know who they wanted to originally cast as the Big Lebowski, but who was actually...
Was it John Goodman?
No, the Big Lebowski, like the big Jeffrey Lebowski.
Yes, I know. Did they want John Goodman for it?
No.
Who?
They almost got him, but he was too ill to play the role at the time. Marlon Brando.
Oh. That could have been destructive for this movie, to be honest. Knowing what I know about Marlon Brando, it wouldn't...
Well, if he was as bad as it was like at the Island of Dr. Moreau, well, then yeah, it could have been disastrous.
Exactly. So Jeffrey Lebowski gets assailant, goes and something happens. He goes to the Big Lebowski, asks for compensation, and then gets involved in this whole kidnapping plot and
hilarity and misadventures ensue.
Let's just say there's so many ins, so many outs. It's too complicated, and we're about to discuss it. So, the Big Lebowski, we will use AIDS for this, not AIDS the disease, visual AIDS. So the Big Lebowski gets home, and he gets assailant by two individuals.
Where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the money, Lebowski? Hold on.
Yeah, let me.
It's down there. It's down there. Just let me look again.
One of many great lines of this movie. So, of course, we've got an Asian American. I'm going to use Asian American for a reason. Thank you, gods of YouTube.
It'll come up.
Not mentioning a certain movie that I've seen. Never mind. So he pees on this rug. Now, this is important because...
Wait. Hey, Woo. Wasn't this Lebowski supposed to be a millionaire? Yeah.
Yes.
This guy looks like a bum.
Yeah. They basically I've got a mistaken identity because the dude who is you know what, we'll do this. The dude is a very special person because he's
quite the enigma.
He one of those people who basically doesn't give a fuck. Like, he does not give a fuck whatsoever, because this is the dude.
Yes.
Flip-flops, bathrobes, and sunglasses. This is at night inside a supermarket. And all he's going for is, So our boy Big Lebowski gets his rug peed on. And the two idiots want money from him, but they kind of have a mistaken identity. But there's also a bit where when they kind of start to figure it out, what's going on, Wu, who's the Asian American, already peed on the rug. And the other guy, which I watched this again, don't remember what it's called. You can see the name on the credits, but I don't think he refers to him at any point in terms of name.
The blonde guy. No, he never actually has a name.
Never actually has a name. I think he has a name on the credits. Yeah, Wu has a name.
Yeah.
So he takes out the bowling ball.
Well,
He's like, what the fuck is this? It's like, obviously you're not a golfer.
You're not a golfer.
Yeah.
Side note, if anyone's going to be watching this, we're going to be recording this movie pretty much the entire fucking time. So be prepared for a 4.5 hour podcast.
No, it's not. It's going to be a 2-hour podcast. We're going to skip over a lot of shit. This movie is 2 hours long. This podcast could be 7 hours long. We can dissect every little detail, but we have to let go of certain things. Okay, so of course, we need to know a little bit more about the dude's life. The dude is a bowler, hence the joke about the golf. So and by the way, I said it on my reaction video. I don't know if you've seen it or not. I did say at the end of the video, I think closer to the actual end, there's a lot of shots in this movie that give me sort of an inkling about the creators, which is the Coen brothers. Mm-hmm. They really love bowling, or they have some sort of reverence to bowling because the bowling shots in this movie are absolutely gorgeous. They absolutely gorgeous.
I'm going to go on a little side tangent here just real quick and just give you some expositional knowledge. The dude is actually based off of someone that the Coen brothers actually knew in person.
I would imagine so.
But the thing was, he wasn't fascinated with bowling. He was fascinated with softball.
Interesting.
But he did love what drink?
White Russian.
Well, White Russian. And another person that's coming up, Walter, is also based off of someone that they knew as well, who told only stories about how he was in Vietnam.
Yeah, I would say so, because it seems to me like this movie, apart from a lot of their other movies, like Barton Fink is about writing, and I could see where Barton Fink with John Goodman and John Turturro, which are in this movie, is like super personal. Mm-hmm. We might even do like we definitely should do a Barton Fink podcast.
Oh, I'd love to. That's a great movie too.
Obviously, if you haven't seen Barton Fink, go watch it. It's very early Coen Brothers movie. It's about writing. I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't seen it. It's about writing, and it seems like it's very personal. And then this one, it seems also very personal. You don't know exactly what is what. If you go into detail, like you said, you would scrape up all these things that kind of built and mishmashed everything together. But I'm going to give you one glimpse. Like I said, I'm going to talk about this. The shot where they literally go back with the camera, and one after the other, you see these rollers just roll one after the other. You won't typically see that in a bowling alley, but like what caught my eye is the fact that some of them had their team jerseys, and some of them like casual players. Most of them don't even have bowling shoes. They have sneakers, which is allowed, but they don't have bowling shoes.
But all of us go into a great opening track too. This is we kind of wanted to start the podcast with you actually playing it on guitar. But
But I told you last week we really
get in trouble really quick.
Get into trouble. We don't want it. It's the opening we like to do, like I did last week, which is kind of special. But we're gonna let dogs lie. The soundtrack of this, it just does not go out of my head all this week. Like the condition my condition was in, I've been singing it all day.
And I love the fact that all of the music is actually based off of what? It's early to late 70s rock and folk rock.
Yeah, exactly.
And like a little bit of bluegrass, a little bit, but it's actually based in 1993.
It's
That's what the film
it's
is
actually
based.
based in 1991. It's
That's right.
during
No, you're right.
Desert
Yeah,
Storm.
91. It's right at the beginning of Desert Storm. Right.
Because
My
we
bad.
see Walter comparing Vietnam, because he always talks about Vietnam and the
And
Iraq
he
War,
uses
and uses a lot of nomenclature.
some very racial epithets that we can't use
Right.
here.
If we're already talking about it, the
Hey
dude
man,
comes in.
that is not the preferred nomenclature.
Yes.
They prefer Asian Americans.
Yes. Literally, the dude says
they peed on your rug, Donnie. You're out of your fucking element.
Yeah, Donnie's in this trio. We have the dude who is like the stoner guy. We have Walter, which I don't know what he represents, but he is the veteran guy who is high strung, like you would say PTSD'd out of his head. Let's say this.
But to be honest, though,
Walter is like Dr. Disrespect's character.
Yes, very much so.
Right?
Because honestly, you can't really believe that he actually ever was in Nam. Like I don't believe he actually ever went there.
You never believe he's like he's talking about it just a tad too much.
Well, there's no actual real details. He just he throws out just random terms.
Yeah, in case of like the end, in case of the end, like
we're gonna get there. We're getting there.
But like Kaisan, Londoc, and Heel 375 or 357.
I mean, it's just like
that's like very well-known battlefields.
Yeah, he must have like, oh well. Also, I was fighting on Hamburger Hill. Like, if you were fighting on Hamburger Hill, you definitely would have been dead. Yeah. Like, there's no doubt about it. You would have died.
So Donnie, the third member, is like, he's there, but he doesn't really pay attention. He's way more into the bowling than to anything else.
Yeah.
And he always he's not really the majority, but when it's like the dude and Walter, whoever has the most dominant opinion, he goes with that guy. So one time he goes with the dude against Walter, and sometimes he goes with Walter against the dude.
He really doesn't go against anyone, though. He's just genuinely ambivalent. He just kind of asks questions. He's like, "Oh, did they pee on your rug, dude?" Like,
it's like, why did he pee on your rug?
Well, at the end of this conversation, he goes, "Oh, Lebowski. Hey, that's your name, dude.
That's your name,
Donnie.
Donnie, you are out of your element.
Your fucking element here." And this leads into
like. It really, the rug. It really tied the room together.
It really tied the room together.
Exactly.
I mean,
he leans back and he says it so casually. It's also interesting. By the way, if you notice with the bowling alley, first smoking's allowed, and they have the
it's the actual written.
Yeah,
well, it's also written. It's not digital.
Before it went digital.
Bowling alley. Yeah.
In 1990, I think in 1993 was the first time I went bowling. It was already digital where I went to bowl in 1993.
Yeah, I think when I was a kid, when I was at a bowling league, when I was a kid.
Hold. Most important thing in the world. Okay.
Night, Mrs. Meff. Love you too.
Yeah, she went to bed. She just wanted to tell me the rack ribs are in the oven. Good for tomorrow. All right. Moving on. Yes. Dude.
So this is actually when the dude goes to see.
Yeah, the dude goes to see the Big Lebowski, and he will literally skim it. First, he meets with Philip Seymour Hoffman. Is fucking great in this, because you don't believe it's Philip Seymour Hoffman. You believe it's this lackey dude, right?
He's the very
he praises Lebowski, and he tells him about Lebowski, and he's so happy about Lebowski and all that stuff.
Have you seen Sex, Lies, and Videotape?
I have.
He's the very Sex, Lies, and Videotape Hoffman before the plot twist. in that movie.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. That's true. Damn.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch that again.
It's a good movie.
So he kind of tells him, and he chauffeurs him into the Big Lebowski, where the Big Lebowski is like, are you employed, sir? And he has this. I like the fact that they chose a character or chose an actor that has a very distinct Southern voice, which is very odd for a very, very LA kind of story. I think it's definitely LA because he goes to Malibu.
They're in LA. They go to fucking Simi Valley.
They go to In and Out.
They're in LA.
In and Out. Yeah. But it's sort of a out of place character about this very seemingly rich guy, which
he has this very air of self-importance about himself too, and he has all these airs.
It's a Southern, it's like an old Southern guy, maybe without the racism, because he looks at like the dude with such disgust. So it's like, you fucking deadbeat. Or
no, the thing is, it's utter disdain because he views him as a parasite, as in like it's not even for him. It's not the racial thing with the Lebowski kids, which that illusion gets shattered later. But when you first meet, it was like these children, regardless of where they are, regardless of race, they're at least trying to bring themselves up.
Yes.
You, sir, you're a bum. Sorry, sir, but I don't know if you learned this or not, but the bum's lost.
Yeah, the bum's lost. So I like the fact that when he's like, no, you don't call me, when he talks to me, he says, like Lebowski, you don't call me Mr. Lebowski. You're Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude. And he goes into this spiel, like, or Duderino, or like El Duderino, or his dudeness. It's like, what the fuck is going on? No. and it's so good. And when he gets out because
he says like, am I supposed to be responsible for anyone who matriculates on everyone else's rug in our deer? No, he says matriculates. He uses that word. He uses that verb specifically to show almost his own air of
self-importance. Yeah. So the comedy just keeps going because when the dude comes out the lackey's like, how did it go? It's like, it's okay. The old man said I could take every rug in the house.
Whatever rug I want.
I was like,
and they walk out, and
at this point, like, we're the crowd. Before we talk about the bunny, we as a crowd, just up this point, it was like, yeah, fucking the little guy's winning here. It's just like, yeah. You're rooting for the, like, by the way, and it happens all throughout the movie. It's like, something happened is you're rooting for the dude so much.
Yeah.
You want to watch him. So you want to be, because he's like, so the little guy, if you're a little guy, I was like, yeah, I'm rooting for this guy. So they walk out. They see.
Well, that also, like, even the dude, and no matter what his interactions are, he doesn't have, there's no apathy or antipathy in anything that he does. He genuinely cares about people.
Yeah, there's no maliciousness at all. Yeah. Even when he gets screwed over by Walter, screwed over by the Lebowski, screwed over by the nihilists, he's like, he's mad, but he's not malicious.
There's that one scene when his landlord even comes in, and you like just how he was like, well, my show's coming up, and he goes, also it's the 10th, and also you know that the landlord is such a pushover. The dude is kind of taking advantage of that, but in a way he's like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna be there, and they do go to his show later.
Yeah, of course. So like I said, he may be doing something that is a little bit off or off kilter, but it's not.
But it's not done out of malice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so we go to Bunny, and we get introduced to Bunny.
Tara Reid. Tara Reid in her first film role ever.
And specifically, she paints on a green nail polish, and of course, she comes off with a sex suggestion. And I'll suck your cock for $1,000. What?
But also, it's $100 if he's gonna watch.
Yeah.
And also, do you know who was they really wanted to cast for Bunny? A young Charlize Theron, who almost got the role.
Ooh, she came out with a movie, her first movie, the same year, if I'm not mistaken, or just a year before that. Something about the Valley, right? Something about the Valley, like her very first movie. This just basically the introduction to Bunny, and of course you don't see him. They don't speak of him, but Uli is there. We're gonna get to that.
Well, he was like, "Well, don't you think your boyfriend will care?" And he was like, "Don't worry about Uli. He's a nihilist." And what did the dude say?
What?
That sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about anything. Oh, that sounds exhausting.
So, of course, I'm gonna jump a little bit. I'm gonna jump a little bit. So that's the introduction to Bunny, and of course, again with the bowling, another bowling scene where they go into the bowling. We see Walter coming in with the Pomeranian. I'm gonna skip over a lot. Sorry.
So this is like just calling back to what Biffer. Like it shows the more psychotic side of Walter when he flat out pulls out a gun when Smokey went over the line.
I'm gonna talk about it fast and skip over it. So he pulls out a gun. That's not my important thing. It just goes to show about how intense Walter is, because you've seen him talk intense. Now we see him with action intense, where he pulls out a gun and there's a whole thing. But just the comedy, where the comedy lies. They literally finish the game. You don't see it, but they finish the game. They go outside. They talk in the car. While they talk in the car, the police come in, and they're like, "Oh, that's the LA response time, or what the fuck is going on?"
Oh, no, that's early 90s LA response time. So
just early 90s LA police was like, "Oh shit, that's like." Catching
I would think that they would like from where
it seems I don't know.
Like where they are, they're probably around like San Fernando or maybe Bernardino Valley, around there, because they're close to Simi. So it's like it's outside of the city in kind of like almost a little bit of a borough. They're not in like in the heart of LA. They're not in Hollywood or anything. Not even West Hollywood.
Probably not. Probably not. But you can see in this picture, I can't really show. In this picture, right there, you can see that the car rolls in, and through the dude's window, you can see two cops rushing in. Rushing in while the dude and Walter are talking in their car. So
they go back at the dude's house. He gets all the messages.
Yes.
And once from Smokey, and it's like, "Hey, dude, I don't want to be hard on about this, but I had to call the league in about this because he pulled the weapon."
Yes, Smokey is the guy who got his gun pulled on him, who was a pacifist, and of course Walter tried pacifism once.
But man, they have issues. And then what does Walter say? Like, besides being a pacifist?
Yeah.
God damn it, so good.
Man. So apparently, Bunny's been kidnapped, and the dude comes in, and Lebowski doesn't really talk too much about the kidnapping. He basically talks about himself. It's like, grown men are allowed to cry.
No, strong men
are allowed to cry. Strong men are allowed to cry. And the dude's like, he's really...
The dude's a bit like, do you mind if I do a J? And just
And when he's goes like that, and he reads like a photocopy of a ransom note. Which is weird. And it's like, well, it's a bummer, man. It's a bummer.
No funny stuff. Remember, no funny stuff.
Yeah, that's where he like literally Philip Seymour Hoffman ushers him into the room again, and like 2 minutes later, he ushers him out. Let me give you a detail on what you're supposed to do. And apparently, the dude kind of accepts being the bagman for this. I love this shot though. It's like he is crying technically.
Yeah, can you imagine though if that was Marlon Brando instead? How nuts that would have been.
Yes, I know, but
God, that would have been good.
That would have been good and maybe potentially awful.
Yeah.
So, is it the one? Yes, yes. So, of course, every single time we have like a big scene, we have a bowling scene, and then we have a big scene, and then bowling scene. Always back and forth. Always the bowling alley as a sort of an anchor to everywhere. Sort of like, I would say, like a home base to where this is where we go out and do our thing.
In a way, the alley itself serves as not only a safe haven for them, but also an interlude in between sub acts. Because this isn't a movie that doesn't have like major acts; it has sub acts.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of, like I said, it goes into a sort of action, not action, but sort of a outside of the bowling alley, and then going back to the out, and then sort of. It's looping around, not looping around, but it goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So we're at the bowling alley again. And of course, we have the Quintana scene where I got copyright claimed over 6 seconds in the background of the song on the video, but it's in dispute. That's okay.
That was the Spanish cover of Hotel California.
Yes, the Spanish cover of Hotel California by the Eagles, and we have a Mr.
Which is
Jesus Quintana.
Which is so funny is actually this character is based off of they had met John Turturro, which because he was in another one of the Coen Brothers films that we talked about before, but they wanted him to actually play this role based off of when they saw him in a small off-Broadway play where he played what?
A pederast?
Bingo!
I don't want to say it's in his face. No, I'm just joking. John Turturro, I checked it this morning. John Turturro has done 4 Coen Brothers movies. Yeah. John Goodman has done 6. Jeff Bridges has done 3, if I'm not mistaken. And surprisingly, George Clooney has done 7.
7, yeah.
7. And Frances McDermott done 10.
Yeah.
Because she's married to one of the Coen brothers.
Well, to be fair, a lot of the later Coen brothers movies are not that great. Like The Men Who Stare at Goats.
Yeah. And read before
Burn After Reading.
After Reading.
I
went into that movie with all my gusto, and I was expecting Fargo, and I got like.
And then Biffer's right too. Biffer in the chat just mentioned the Jesus Rolls, the sequel. The sequel.
There's a sequel called Jesus Rolls?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
It's awful. Don't watch it.
Yeah, but they here he's playing like their nemesis of sorts.
Yeah,
and John Turturro does a fantastic job. Yeah. Such a he took the role and was like, I'm gonna fuck this 2 minutes that I have twice in this movie. Like all in all,
Walter,
about 2 minutes.
Say what you want to say about him, but he can roll.
Bastard can roll, motherfucker.
He did time in prison.
Yeah.
He's a pederast. 8-year-olds, dude.
Yeah,
8-year-olds.
So the dude comes back to his house, and of course, he gets hit by a couple of goons and a strange woman, and he goes into one of the first. I think it's. Do we have 3 or 2? Two. I
With
think two.
the Dream-esque
The
sequences.
Dream-esque sequence. I think it's two. One is this, and one is after Jackie Treehorn laces his drink.
Drink,
all right.
Yeah.
So, loads of sort of plot, kind of weird-esque thing, but it kind of fits together. But in both of them, Maud appears. One of them, she rides a rug, because she basically reclaims the rug because it's hers, not the Big Lebowski's. And the other one is
that wasn't
with her.
That wasn't in this. She wasn't in the first. She was in the second one as the Valkyrie.
She was in the first one. She was in the first one riding the rug. You can. It's like
a very small little snippet.
It's a second. You don't.
Yeah.
Because you see her face for a glimpse when he gets hit. So the dude is literally lying on the rug, listening to a competition from 1987. Yeah, bowling.
He's listening to the people roll strikes. That's what he's listening to.
Exactly. And he gets hit in the face. You can see the glimpse of Maud's face, and then you can see the back of her head. You don't see her face riding a rug. So that's basically that dream sequence involving bowling. And both dream sequences involve bowling. Bowling is, throughout this movie, insanely prominent. So the dude gets the Big Lebowski gets instructions. The dude gets a portable phone, gets a briefcase with supposedly the money, and he goes out to do the drop. And of course, he takes.
And why did he call Walter? Why did he call Walter? It's the dumbest fucking idea he had in the whole fucking movie. It's like, man, I know you, dude, literally, dude, no.
Yeah. And first of all, we have our first warning signs that this is not as it seems, because they call the dude. Walter's shouting in the background. It kind of confuses the dude, and it's like, we. And it's like, oh, what we? Boom.
Because oh shit, because like
shit, and they close. And it's like
we?
And Walter said, dude, relax. They're good. They want their money. It's like, for me, when I seen it the first time, it's like,
no, Biffer, they weren't dirty drawers. They were as clean laundry.
The whites. They're whites. Yes. And of course, Walter brings the ringer because he's convinced that she kidnapped
It's a ringer.
herself.
It's a fake.
It's a fake, of course.
Why get $20,000 when we can have the whole $1 million to ourselves? I mean, obviously she faked her own kidnapping. You said it right, dude. Like, well, I don't think that's actually the case anymore. I mean, it sounds like it's really serious. And it's like, no, it's just it's thing. And don't worry about it. What's going to happen is I'm going to give him a ringer, and as soon as I do, I'm going to knock him out. And immediately the dude's like, oh God, what did I get myself into?
And the fact that Walter comes into the car and was like, and the dude's like, what is
like,
this? This is the ringer.
Move over. I'm driving. Here's the ringer. You're like, what's this?
And he sees the undies.
Underwear.
Like,
it's the whites.
And what's the other thing? Oh, that's just my Uzi. Hello.
That's the bag goes. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna tuck and roll.
Yeah. And when they do the drop, he like throws the ringer and it's like take the wheel, and he jumps out. I don't know what the fuck he did.
I don't know. He did. And the gun fell aside, and apparently it must have hit the trigger because it was spraying bullets.
Look, Uzi. When we talk about Uzi, we talk about my neck of the woods, because Uzi is a Israeli-made gun.
Yeah.
It was notoriously, if you hit where you hit it somewhere, the pin that holds the trigger is very light, and the Uzi did not have a single. It was on and
full
off
auto,
with the safe. So if you wanted a single, you needed to play with the trigger a little bit. That's it.
With the pin, it would just automatically just spray.
And if you would slam it, it would gone off. So if you watch True Lies and you didn't realize why is it shooting? By the way, that wasn't an Uzi. That was a Mac 10, and it shouldn't do that. But if it was an Uzi, it would have like sprayed like this one. It was literally off, fire a few rounds, and then the pin would catch. Sorry, a little bit of gun knowledge from my neck of the woods.
No, that's fine. But it was just funny how the gun actually rotated due to the recoil on its own. So as it would.
Technically, it should do that.
Yeah, it should.
Almost the only gun in the world that should do that.
Walter did not get hit
is insanely lucky, by the way. It's insanely lucky. And the fact that the Uzi hit the car or the light at the end of the car is like that is
the tail light,
phenomenally lucky.
Yeah.
The fact that and also the fact that Walter could walk is either he landed on his stomach or something.
We're gonna get to that point.
He had a soft landing. You can go like now because this is literally now.
Yeah. So they end up going back to the bowling alley and
they finish off and it's like, oh my god, there's a massive thing that was going on, and Walter's like, oh fuck it, dude, let's go bowling.
The same thing that Walter always his answer to him, like, yeah, fuck it, man, let's go bowling. And they do.
And they do, because we have a set piece of action and then back to the bowling alley.
And he's carrying around that portable cell phone at the time, and it's just ringing off the hook nonstop.
Yes, because and at this point we don't know who's calling. Is it the kidnappers? Is it the Big Lebowski to find out what's going on? We actually don't know.
Yeah.
Right? And he doesn't answer his phone. So we have a bowling alley scene where we get because they won. I'm guessing the appeal of Smokey didn't pan out because they are moving on to the semis to face up Quintana, and they want to know which. Like Donnie comes in and he says, "Look, I went just down to the league and they said we're going to play Quintana on Saturday," and it's like.
Exactly.
And Walter says,
I don't roll on Shabbos.
Yeah, I don't roll on a Shabbos. And he's like, why are you not rolling on a Saturday? He's like, I'm a shomer. I'm a Jew, and we don't get any more information out of that.
He's they go through the whole thing.
It's later on. It's literally they discuss Cynthia, his ex-wife, in the car. But they don't discuss the Jewish part.
They discuss
it a little bit later.
No, because he brought the Pomeranian to the bowling alley beforehand.
Yes, they do discuss Cynthia. They do discuss the fact that she's his ex, but they don't discuss his Judaism. So he said, "I'm a shomer Shabbos," which is. You can't drive. You can't drive. You can't turn on an oven. You can't even turn on the light. Anything that Shomer Shabbos is very easy to explain.
Don't fucking roll on Saturday.
Very easy to explain. You're not supposed to work or to close loops. So when you close a circuit, it closes a loop.
Yeah.
Right. And that's when you go to work on a normal day, you get up, you pray, you do your workly thing, you pray, and you go to bed. That's a loop, right? So on a Shabbos, you're not supposed to close loops. You're supposed to literally relax and not close any loops. So don't take out the garbage, which is a sort of a loop. So no loops.
Yeah. So no finality, but
no finality.
Yeah. Now, I wanted to ask you about this because obviously, I mean, you're from Israel. You would be the one who I could ask about this. Now, is that actually is that an Orthodox Jewish thing, or is that?
Yes, it's mostly Orthodox Jews, which the most recognizable, the beard, the hat, and the curls.
Yeah,
but also people who just wear a yarmulke and not they don't look Jewish apart from the yarmulke. Usually are the ones that are Shomer Shabbos, and they do all the prayers and they do everything, and they have it's relaxing day. So they never cook on a Saturday. So a lot of the Jewish anything that you think about is Jewish delicacies or Jewish food is stuff that is left over for a long time. So a hot plate food,
okay,
hot plate food is like you would say it's a Jewish food, but it really depends because Jewish people are like from Eastern Europe, Western Europe, America, or fucking Russia, or some parts in China, where my grandmother comes from. But never mind. The everything that can sit on a hot plate, it can basically be a Jewish food on a Saturday because you set it up on a Friday, let's say afternoon before it technically is Shabbos or Shabbat.
So technically, you never started the loop. The loop had already began. So if you finish the loop, it's okay.
No, the loop for the Friday is over. The sun goes down. It starts the Shabbos and it ends at sundown on a Saturday.
Oh, okay. No, okay. That makes
so it's from sundown Friday up until sundown Saturday, and it's the same with every single Jewish holiday. It starts with sundown. It's sundown to sundown, and then maybe you have another day or two of holiday. Otherwise, it's like a secular day, I would say. Okay. I know it's too much. It's too much Judaism on a Saturday evening, but
actually, you know what you're doing, right?
Yeah,
you're explaining Shomer Shabbos and you're closing a loop.
Yes. No, it's technically not a Shabbos. It's already Saturday evening for me. So technically,
I'm kidding. I'm being pedantic.
I'm not even supposed to eat pork, and I fucking love pork. It's so good.
I know you do. I've seen you eat bacon in person, my friend.
All right. So the whole point is, and there's one caveat: if it's to save a life, and it's important,
or
if
it's
to save human life, you can break the Shabbos,
which actually comes
just a life, nothing else. So emergency, fire, murder, blah, 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 blah. To save a life, you can do anything. Because never mind. So they go out of the bowling alley, and the dude has no car, right? And of course, LAPD.
This is what the conversation with this is the conversation with Jesus that comes. He comes up to him and goes, "What is this?"
No. That's a
sorry,
little bit later.
Rest. That's
a little bit later.
A little bit later.
That's a little bit later. He does come up with it, but it's a little bit later. Yeah. So they go out. The car's not there. The cops,
I do love this line in this where one of the cops is obviously either a rookie or he is just too naive to understand what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, that's the blonde guy.
This is literally like I just all I can think of is Lethal Weapon. Right.
Yes. Dude,
I
was gonna say
too old black dude for this shit.
The black dude.
And it's not because he's a black guy, but he just has that general fucking mentality where it's just like I don't. He's even messing around he's even looking at his ashtray like this is clearly marijuana, and that it was illegal in California. That is like I don't even care. Like I am. Check the fuck out. I do not give a shit.
I was gonna say it's not about being black. It's Murtaugh, just without Danny Glover in it. It's Murtaugh. It's oh my god! I thought about it this morning. God damn. Yeah. This guy's definitely. You're lucky I'm not fucking arresting you. You piece of shit. Basically.
Yeah. and the other guy's sitting there like, so what else did you have in your car? Well, a briefcase and some Credence tapes.
Yeah. And when
So-
he says, "Oh," it's like, "Oh, by the way, I got my rug stolen," because he was talking about the rug that he stole from Lebowski, and Maud literally calls
Comes
like,
just like,
Jeffrey, please come to see me.
Lebowski,
I
please
took
come
your
to see
rug."
me.
It's like, okay,
Like-
case solved.
No, that guy goes like, well, that's one less thing we have to worry about.
and the other cop, the older cop, is like, "Oh my God, you fucking bitch." He has that face. So he goes to see Maud.
I can see him like literally just sitting there like, I am 45 days from retirement. Don't fuck this up. Maud,
right,
yes. Oh,
before
the
Maud.
flying. Oh,
Before Maud, we have a segment which is overdue. I was gonna bring it up before, but it kind of carried away. But that's okay.
this is a good stopping point. Poster time.
Our first segment of the night. We do this every week as I take posters that have no names in it, promotional posters, theater posters, whatever, and I put them up there. And you, our lovely crowd, and Mr. Oh My Feelings, right there, have to guess it. I'm going to put up 10 of these and see where we go. I will not give you the rate of difficulty because it is stupid. Let me set it up. And
Anger management.
Anger management. This is easy, by the way.
Shart. Fucking Army of the Dead.
You're wearing the shirt.
No, I'm wearing. There's a really good coffee company that has an army of dark chocolate.
Yeah,
and I love their coffee.
Army of Darkness.
Chocolate. Yeah.
You want to punch in? It won't help you.
That's not about Schmidt.
It's not about Schmidt.
Is that it's not the bucket list.
It's not the bucket list. Chat, you've got some time.
As good as it gets.
As good as it gets. Thank you, Biffer.
Fucking Gary Sinise. Ah. You know I love this movie so much. Catch Me If You Can.
Catch Me If You Can.
Great fucking movie. That's
you want me to
Jack
punch in?
Nicholson and...
That is Jack Nicholson. I don't remember the name of the actress.
Punch Out.
All right. She was in Bonnie and Clyde.
It looks like the singing of Lusitania, but that's not it.
Biffer's got it. Chinatown, bitch.
Fuck you, Biffer. Yeah. No, we already did this one.
We did this one? We didn't do this one. No, I checked. Faye Dunaway was the actress.
Faye Dunaway. Yeah.
So if we did this one, what is this one?
I'm certain we did this one.
We didn't. I checked. Come on, chat. You're on fire. Ooh, I've got everybody stomped tonight.
See, I'm not doing Google searches like Biffer can, so.
Dead by Daylight? No, it's not Dead by Daylight. No, it's not a video game. Dead by Daylight is a video game. Last call, 5 seconds. I got nothing tonight.
It's not.
It is the original George Romero, Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Huh.
Faye Dunaway again.
I
was going to say the name, but it would have given this
Can you
out.
Punch
I will punch this in. That's the bottom. That's the top. This guy right above me is the same guy who is down below there.
Yes, I know. That's not Death of a Salesman.
No, not Death of a Salesman. Biffer's got it again. Network. I can't take this anymore.
I'm mad as hell and I'm not gonna take it anymore. Yep.
I forgot the name of this movie. So I'm gonna look.
Whole shit's gone tits up.
I forgot the name of this movie. I don't want to show it. 15. Oh, yeah. I remember why I put it there. No, we got stomped by Oh My Feelings. I think Biffer stomped as well.
I'm thinking of like Something of the Living Dead. Like
it is not Something of the Living Dead.
It's
not even close.
It's not Ghost Ship.
No, it's called The Fog. Last one.
That's for the Fog?
Yes, that's for The Fog. Trust me, it was the better one.
The
other one was actually Mist.
Yeah, that's the Layover?
Nope. That's not the Layover.
It's the one where Tom Hanks is stuck in the airport for fucking.
Yes.
I can never remember the name of the goddamn movie.
Biffer will know. Saf maybe knows. Saf's seen this movie 17 million times. I'm joking, by the way. I have no idea. Come on.
Terminal.
The Terminal. The last one. Yes.
Wedding Crashers.
Wedding Crashers. Yay. All right. Cool beans.
Biffer needs to stop being in chat and making me look bad. Stop it.
That's the whole point. You're not supposed to answer these. The chat is supposed to answer these.
I'm not supposed to know all of them.
You're not supposed to know any of them.
That's what we have Biffer for.
That's why we have chat. This is why it's a live show. We have Biffer in the chat answering all the questions. Well, hopefully more.
Hopefully.
Subscribe, share, and share it around. All right. So
except for the Fog, because no one could. What? Even you didn't know the answer to the Fog there.
You are a lot older than me. You don't even know how old I am. Saf, don't tell him.
You're born in like 43, right?
53. I was born in 1953. I'm an actual boomer. No.
Hey, I got Some Like It Hot, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
True, but also I've seen those movies.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Meth really likes Some Like It Hot. So I've seen
it more than one time. And also Breakfast at Tiffany's.
I got gray hair. I got gray hair too.
I got no hair, so deal with it.
Meffy looks 55. This podcast has been derailed. All right. We've got plenty to go. We've got more than half. By the way, we're 20 minutes into the movie.
Oh, we're more than that. We're the flying naked mod.
I've got 19 minutes and 50 seconds.
We're the flying naked mod. We're after the dump and everything. Like, it's way more than that.
Yeah, I can't really punch in, but if I took out my name, no. I can't take off my name, but if I would have taken off my name, you would have seen it's 19 minutes and 50 seconds. It's insane. This movie goes so there's so much in so little time all throughout the movie. All right, so we're gonna push this through because I need to get to work sometime in the next 6 hours. Anyway. Okay.
So we open back up into a scene with a flying nude.
She does have.
She has panties on, and that's it.
She has a flesh-colored panties, but it kind of suggests that she's not wearing anything.
Yes.
She's got her two helpers. By the way, those are the two helpers that were with her while.
And the guy who knocked him out.
Who knocked him out. And she goes in and she tells him, "Look, I'm an artist. I'm a my art is vaginal. Some people hate the word vagina. I don't
Vagina.
hate the word vagina. I don't hate the word vagina. It doesn't scare
But
me.
so many men are the cock or the dick or the
Yeah.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Johnson?
Yes. And in this scene, she kind of explains to him that, look, at the Big Lebowski,
this is a gift that I gave to my mother. It
yeah,
was not his to give to you, because she still thought that her father gave it to him. That
yeah,
was not the case.
yeah. Basically, that's all she knows, because
Yeah.
she basically talked to Philip Seymour Hoffman, I would say,
Yeah.
and not actually the Big Lebowski, because it does imply in the movie. She doesn't actually say it, but it does imply she doesn't really like her father, and we.
Oh no, she actively hates her father, which is very clear in a later scene.
She says he
very
doesn't
clear.
approve of her lifestyle.
Yeah.
And she's a bohemian, I would say. I haven't heard anybody say that about anyone like for
In
a
a long
long time.
But again, this is based in the early 90s, so that would be pretty apropos.
These are, when I grew up, people who were living this particular lifestyle, so not poor in an artist, but rich in an artist, and really an artsy fartsy kind of guy or girl, doesn't matter.
So today we'd call them
bohemian.
Trust fund baby hipster douchebags nowadays.
Yeah. I would say so. So
basically half of Austin, Texas.
Rich, I would say rich artists. I would say.
That's my own personal inside joke.
Yeah, I know. So the whole thing is, she kind of gives him the rundown. So he doesn't have any money. So where does the money? She said, "I don't know where the money comes from." Yeah.
She already alludes to the fact that the Lebowski funds,
urban achievers, the urban achievers,
is basically like he's been embezzling from that forever. She alludes to that already from the beginning.
Yeah. So she basically, what she gives us, apart from, I would say, the love angle in this movie, which is yes and no.
Love interest, kind of.
Love interest, no. Yes and no.
No.
She gives us a little bit of a real insight of what's really going on. And at this point, we don't actually know what is going on with Bunny, but us as a crowd, us as a viewers, kind of see there's something afoot. But the next scene throws everything into the loop, because she gives him a ride with basically a New Jersey Italian guy.
Which actually, that's actually a very famous comedian, by the way. That's Dom Herrera.
That's Dom Herrera?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
That's fucking awesome.
That's why he's actually telling a bit from one of his early stuff from the mid 80s.
Wow. So
when he's telling those jokes to the dude in the back of the dude, and the dude's like that's actually him laughing. That was actually a riff that they were doing during that shot.
He was talking like the dude talks to the driver, like he's like, "Hey, Tone, man." He doesn't call him Tony. He call him, "Yeah, look, Tone." He sort of mimics his way of speech as if
a little bit like he puts on the affectation for a little bit, but yeah.
A little bit. So he drops him off, and as soon as he gets out of one,
he gets out, but he has the White Russian in his hand. He gets mobbed by
another
the Big Lebowski's guys, and he's like, "Hey man, watch it! I got a beverage."
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? You're worried about your fucking beverage? So they sit around in the car, and they tell him that what happened with the fucking drop off, because
I love that Philip Seymour Hoffman's character consistently actually only refers him to as what he wants to refer to as, like, dude, we've been trying to reach you.
Yeah. Exactly.
We've been trying to reach you, dude. You won't pick up the phone,
You
dude.
say her life was in your
In your
hands,
hands.
dudes.
And
And
meanwhile, the Big Lebowski is berating him for like, you nitwit.
yeah.
What?
And the dude said, look, she kidnapped herself.
Man.
It's obvious, man. And they said, oh, kidnapped herself, right? You fucking bum. And they give him the envelope with a toe.
Like, by God, sir, I will not abide another toe.
Yeah, it gives him a toe, and he opens it. He sees the toe with a green nail polish. And as soon as we see it, right? As soon as we see it, cut to Walter, like he having a conversation with Walter, and the dude is like concerned what's going on, and Walter's like, if you want a toe, I can get you a toe.
I can get you a toe by 3 p.m. today.
3 p.m. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck, Walter? And
Walter's character too really shines out here because he goes on that massive diatribe where he just is like, stop worrying about it. Fuck. I was like, sir, we're gonna have to ask you to keep it down. This is a family restaurant. It's like, hey, listen.
I didn't fight.
I didn't have so many of my friends die in the muck.
So I can sit here and enjoy my fucking coffee. But at this point, this is where like the dude kind of like, get the fuck out of here, Walter. And he is so annoyed. He is so annoyed by like Walter's reaction. He just leaves.
And that's the first time of this happening in the film. That we can see like they're kind of like fracturing in their friendship because it happens on 2 other occasions later.
Yeah. And this one isn't actually in a bowling alley. I would expect this scene to be in like the bar at the bowling alley, but there is a scene sort of like this in the bowling alley where it kind of fractures, right?
Yeah. But so, I love the fact John Goodman is. By the way, John Goodman as Walter is very underrated in this film. I think he's fucking amazing.
What do you mean underrated? From everything that John Goodman did, including Roseanne, this is my favorite John Goodman of all time. King Ralph, Roseanne, Barton Fink, anything that he did, this one was the best role that he's done, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. With I agree. Gray hairs right here.
A lot of people don't agree with that, but I do just love at the very end of the scene. He's like, "Well, I don't know. You're the one getting upset. I'm not upset."
Yeah.
When the dude leaves, he goes like, "I don't care. I'm sitting here." How indignant Walter as a character is like, "I'm gonna enjoy my coffee."
Yeah,
I'm not
going to sit here and enjoy my coffee. So the dude runs away, and of course, what's the dude to do? And just sit around in his bathtub, getting fucking high as a kite. And of course, everything's dark. He's got candles lit. He's got the fucking tweezers with the fucking roach, and 3 people are the 3 nihilists drop into this house. And they come in with a ferret, not a marmot, a ferret.
Ferret, yes.
And on a leash, which is already odd. By the way, I know it's a ferret because I've seen Kindergarten Cop, right?
Yes, I know.
And they walk in, and
I love it. Like, well, no, he gets the message from the LAPD on his car, on his answering machine, like, "Hey, we've actually located your car."
Far out, dude.
Man.
Yeah, far out, dude.
And then just like then in the middle of the message, he's just bang, 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 and someone's just hammering it. I think it was Peter Stormare's character had the cricket bat, right? And he's the one bashing it.
I think it's the tall guy.
So it was the tall guy.
The tall guy.
I know it wasn't Flea.
No, it was the tall blonde guy, which I don't know. I don't know his name. I know Peter Stormare, the
tall
Flea,
guy and
the
Flea.
tall guy. Yeah,
and that's it.
so I think it's the tall guy that has like, it's not a bat, it's a cricket bat.
It's a cricket bat, yeah.
And he hits it, and they come and they turn on the lights, and they come into the bathroom, and the dude's like, "Ooh, nice marmot."
Nice
like,
marmot.
And he puts the fucking ferret in the water.
Into the water. Like, ah. We want the money, Lebowski. Where's the money, Lebowski?
And he's so
you get us the money, or we're gonna cut up your Johnson.
Yeah. And it's like, that's very odd for you to say Johnson and not something else. I mean,
what? No, what was that again? We're gonna cut off your Johnson.
So and when they walk out, they literally shut the lights out. So we get it literally resets to where he was.
As Flea is walking out, he goes, "Yeah, we got to cut it off, and then we're going to stomp it with our boots."
That's right. That's right.
So good.
Because he got the call from the police, he goes out to search, and the guy in the police parking lot, and he was like, he goes over this thing, and a vagrant might have, vagrant.
We found your Credence tapes.
Yeah, we found the Credence tapes.
What's that smell like? Vagrants. They may have just used it as
a bathroom.
I don't know. A briefcase, like, yeah, they said that. Like, so is there any possibility of them finding who did this? And they're like,
yeah, the boys in the lab.
Yeah, we got 2 extra detectives on this. They got us working in shifts.
The guy was like, "Are you fucking joking me? This is fucking LA. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Especially in the early 90s. Yeah, this dude is like, he's fucking cracking up. It's so good, man.
Like, again,
those little moments in this movie are so fucking meticulously good.
They're so fucking great, and also they hired like the actors that play that role down to a T.
Oh yeah,
perfect delivery. Could you imagine anyone else doing that cop role? The way that like that clear, sarcastic voice, and then the tone, and the intonation, and the meaning behind it was just chef's kiss.
And of course, we get, like I said, it could the same conversation they had in the coffee shop could have been here, right? Back in the bowling alley after it happens. And Walter's, and the thing is with this is you are so inclined to like dislike Walter because he says like, oh, also it's very illegal to have an amphibian, rodent in the city. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
No, he listens like, what are you, a fucking park ranger now?
Yeah. It's like, what are you fucking talking about, Walter? It's like, yeah, fuck you. And he says like, well, they talked about if they needed to call the dude during the league thing, and the dude is like, fuck the league and fuck the game, and Walter's like, fuck the bowling league. I was like,
I can't even talk to you.
Yeah, I can't talk to you. You lost it. And like I said, Donnie, at this point, he goes with Walter instead of the dude because to Donnie, the bowling thing is
more important. Yeah, well, because that's Donnie's whole thing. Is like, yeah, you're my friend, but also like this is the more important thing to me.
So. And we're gonna touch about something that I kind of skipped over. There are 3 scenes we're gonna talk about later. There are 3 scenes with Donnie that are very important, but sort of a no. We'll talk.
Yeah. So this is our first interaction with Sam Elliott.
With Sam Elliott, which is cowboy. Also the narrator, and he's like, he tells him, "Look, dude, sometimes." Oh, and it also kind of, this is the moment where, like, up until this moment, everything was going from bad to worse for the dude, right? Mm-hmm. And at this point, the entire movie kind of pivots into closure, and things really go in his favor. from this point. How he tells him,
Yeah,
look, sometimes you eat the bear, and sometimes the bear eats you, right? So sometimes
it's
the bar. Like, I've seen one of my pet peeves right now. I told you this. It's people who watch this movie for the first time. I've seen like 3 or 4 reactions to this, and every single woman reaction girl to this moment fucking gushes over Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
It's the voice. Two things. The voice and the mustache, of all things. I don't know what I understand, but
hey, you got a good sarsaparilla. You got Sioux City.
That's a good one. So,
dude, I like you, but hey, I gotta ask you: do you have to curse so often?
Yeah.
What the fuck do you mean?
Yeah. Exactly. It's like the dude is literally like, he's so oblivious to like normal questions and normal things. And he's very acute about other things. Like, he caught on about Bunny real fast, but he didn't know. He kind of assumed which was the correct, but he didn't know. So his intuition was good. He was so oblivious. So yeah. Anyway, we got the Sam Elliott scene, sort of a pivot where the character of the story meets the narrator of the story, which is odd. Haven't seen it in any other movie really that I remember,
except for Fight Club.
Correct. No, but that's the character is the narrator.
Yeah.
So here we've got a narrator who is one basically, and also as like a separate character, and the subject or the hero, which is another character. And they meet.
Yes.
And they go out. They meet right at the end again to just tie up everything in a bow and finish up the movie, which is, again, another uniqueness to this movie. I'm going to go on because we're already at like an hour 15.
I know.
Yeah, and we gotta go. So I'm going to skip over this scene because this is my least favorite scene, where the dude goes into Maud. Maud has a sort of a gentleman appear, I would say.
Oh yeah, the video actor. Yeah. And he goes, "Well, you have to go see this doctor. He's good."
And thorough. And she wants him to go to the doctor because at this point we think it's because he got hit in the jaw by one of her colleagues, and she doesn't want him to like suffer like a permanent damage.
Well, we think it's for actually altruistic purposes, but it's not, of course.
It's not. We kind of know. She sends him off to the doctor. She kind of tells him the first time they meet to go to the doctor, but doesn't really go because, it's just a hit, right? So he goes to this doctor, and he's all like, he's gone. The doctor says, "Well, take down your pants." It's like, no, she hit here, right here. It's like,
and then it cuts right to him in his car. It's like, it basically just alluded to the fact that he got jerked off by that doctor. I mean,
not really, right? So he's in his. I'm going to definitely skip this over, but he goes into his car. He has like the roach. He's
listening to what?
He's listening to Creedence.
Creedence, yes, but he also does. He actually does have like he's smoking a joint, drinking a beer while driving.
Yeah,
and listening to Creedence is like, life is the best thing ever.
And of course, he loses the road. He tries to throw away, but his car window doesn't go. It goes into his balls. He tries to spill the beer on it, which technically would like, it wouldn't ignite. It doesn't have enough alcohol. But the car gets another hit because whatever. Yeah. And he finds this paper belonging to a kid called Larry, and they suspect that he stole the car and has the briefcase.
Which I wanted to just small little caveat there. The guy that I told you that the Coen brothers, they based these characters off of people that they met before.
Mm-hmm.
the character they based Walter off of
Mhm.
was also a private detective, and one of the cases that he had was finding a missing car, and he found a report like that from a kid underneath the car seat on
Oh,
the driver's side.
nice.
So
So yeah, so
it's life imitating art.
so
But this again, this is a callback to again. That's his landlord. So
yeah,
again,
that's his landlord, of
the
course.
dude is still a good guy, and he shows up, and like you can see, no one's there.
Yeah, but the dude kind of shows up because he's the
He
dude, right?
promised.
He's
like, well,
he
yeah,
promised he promised to
I'm gonna
come,
go.
so he did come,
Show.
and he brought Donnie along with him, and of
Donnie
course
and Walter.
And Walter comes in, and Walter says, "Well, look, I found out where this kid lives. It's over at this place, which is near the In-N-Out Burger." And of course, as soon as the In-N-Out Burger is mentioned, Donnie's like, he doesn't care about anything about that fucking In-N-Out Burger.
So we can go to In-N-Out Burger then? Like, yeah, shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Donnie. We're going to In-N-Out. Like, relax.
Also, do you know who his dad is? He wrote 168 episodes of what show?
Branded. So they literally leave the show and go straight to the house. We go in, and they're greeted by a nanny, I would say, or a caretaker. I would say a caretaker, a housekeeper. Yeah. You don't know if she actually deals with the dad, the guy.
Well,
who
the dad's in a fucking
iron lung.
I have to assume.
and when they sit down, Pilar, which is the caretaker, or the we'll call her I don't know, caretaker, I would say. Yeah. She said, "Oh, the men from the police are here." And Walter says, "Look, we're not the police, and we definitely don't want you to involve the police."
Yeah.
So they sit around, and of course, the kid is supposed to be 15, so he doesn't give a shit about these two old.
He is just
like, he is a blank fucking slate. Yeah, he's a total blank slate. It's like, is this yours, Larry?
Like, and the dude literally looks over and was like, "We already know it's this fucking report. Like, what'd you do with the fucking money?" Yeah. Well, there's also a new Corvette.
Yeah, when they come in, they see a Corvette, and they obviously automatically think, "Oh shit, you already spent it."
The dude says like, "Well, he spent all the money." Like, well, actually, probably only like 10% of it, depending on the options. That's what Walter says.
Yeah, and it's a Corvette, right?
It's a Corvette. Yeah.
I asked you last week, I think off stream, if is it a Trans Am? Because to me it looks like a Trans Am.
No, that's Trans Am.
It's an open top
Corvette. Yeah,
it's an open top. I think it's a 73 Corvette. Don't hate me. Comment section down below. Please tell me. I think it's an open top 73 Corvette. Don't hate me.
It wasn't an open top.
It has a detachable. Never mind. Anyway, it's a Corvette. Fuck, it's red. It's a red car. Okay, it's a red sports car.
Listen to me. Again, Walter immediately goes into that thing where he goes, "Have you ever heard about Vietnam?
Yeah,
you're entering a world of hurt, Larry.
Yeah, you're entering a world.
Of Larry, you're entering a world of hurt. You want to see what happens? This is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass, Larry. This is what happens when you fuck a stranger." And then he goes outside with a tire iron and just starts beating the hell out of that Corvette.
As soon as he gives up on like trying to get him to talk, it's like, okay, it's plan B. And he goes to the car, and he's like, he gets himself riled up for the first time in this movie, and not the last time. He riles himself up, and he does a massive mistake, because he goes to fucking town on this fucking car, and he doesn't even know who does it belong to. Doesn't know, right?
So you can tell right there, Meth. Just the badge right in the front there, and you can actually even see it. It's a Corvette. Yeah.
Fine, it's not a Trans Am. I do believe it's a 73 Corvette. And the top you can disassemble it. Never mind. So this is
what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass, Larry.
Technically, this is my favorite scene of the movie.
Well,
I love this fucking scene.
And also, can you imagine that Donnie is still there the whole time? He's sitting in the back of the dude's car.
Yeah.
Still, while all of this is going on, and Donnie's sitting there like, so we're going to In-N-Out, right?
I would imagine.
I want to get a double animal style.
I would imagine that this was the most fun this is the scene that John Goodman had the most fun with, because they told him just go crazy. I want to think that the direction to John Goodman in this movie, where he saw the script, there's basically one line, and just go to town,
go ham, just
go ham,
have fun. And are you sure?
Yeah.
You've got all you need to repeat. All you need to repeat is a phrase. This is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass, Larry.
Yeah, and you would think, even with today, that you can literally switch over the windshields and the headlights, and it wouldn't cost the production too much. This would have been in one take. I want to believe this was one take.
This had to have been one take. It's a one take only. Otherwise, because at that point you would need multiple vehicles at that point.
Have you tried to bash a windshield window before?
Thankfully, no, because I'm crazy, not insane.
No, I had to bash one for fun. This is an actual windshield. If it was
Chat, you can judge that.
I'm fucking insane. Because if it was like sugar glass,
because it
would have caved in immediately.
Because this is actually it's actual sheet glass. Like again, it's one solid piece with
some sort of plating on it, right?
Yeah.
The dude's car, which is a shitty Dodge, whatever the fuck, from 71. It doesn't shatter immediately either, even though it's like shittier glass.
Yeah.
Right.
So again, Walter goes nuts, and then we find out that
the actual owner of
lo and behold, it was actually the neighbor. And he goes, what the fuck?
Yeah, and he takes the tire iron and he goes into
like, oh, I fuck your car. You fuck my car. I fuck your car. I just bought that car. I fuck your car. And the whole time is, you have to remember, Donnie is in the car while all that shit's happening.
And literally, it cuts to them driving back home after they
going
went to the In-N-Out, and they're sitting around in the car with no windshield, and they're just eating the fucking burger.
I just love the fact that Steve Buscemi in the background as Donnie, like he just looks so happy. He's like, I got my burger. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even John Goodman has a little the milkshake mustache. After one of the shots, it has a little bit on his.
I don't want to press play, but yeah, I know exactly what you mean. But they're just sitting there,
and even right there, the dude is like, I am so resigned to my fate.
Yeah. And still, remember, we're not in a downward slope. We're on an upward slope in this movie, because you already have closures for certain things. But yeah, so the dude goes into the house. Wu and the blonde guy show up. We're looking. Jackie Treehorn wants the deadbeat Lebowski.
We know what Lebowski you are now. Jackie Treehorn wants to see the deadbeat.
We know
Lebowski.
which Lebowski you are, Lebowski. We want the deadbeat Lebowski. So they bring him to Jackie Treehorn.
Also, side little caveat. One thing we did gloss over real quick is when he is getting the limo ride back from Damarera. He mentions like, "Hey, do you know that guy that's been following us in the blue Beetle the whole time?" That comes up at the end.
Exactly. He kind of looks at it, And as soon as he looks behind it, he sees the like blue beetle. Immediately gets caught by the chauffeur, and there's a beverage here. So he goes to where that was back then. We're talking about this where the dude is at Jackie Treehorn's house, and Jackie Treehorn says, "Well, dude, do you know where Bunny is?"
And it has well, you have to again. Jackie Treehorn is basically the Larry Flint of the film.
Yes.
For lack of a better term.
Was there a porn producer back then? He sort of
there were very, very many in LA at that time. That were there.
Yes, but not. They didn't have a name. So for me, Jackie Treehorn is the same character that is portrayed a year or two later by Burt Reynolds.
In Boogie Nights, yeah.
In Boogie Nights. It's sort of basically the same.
Well, it was actually Boogie Nights actually came out, I think this Boogie Nights
1999. Did it come in 90? I can check. Easy.
I think it's the same year.
Boogie
also,
Nights,
what's up, platform? Good to see you, bud.
1997 actually came in a year before.
Okay.
But like I said, it's not super the same, but it is the same sort of producer director of porn movies, and he does mention that
Jackie has the one line where he goes, well, the future is it's all going
digital.
Man. No, he goes, it's all going electronic, not digital. That's way too early for this. And the dude says, well, I still jack off manually.
Exactly. It's like, and Jackie says, exactly. And Jackie's like, he knows what's up. And again, this is supposed to be 1991, so this is still the VHS era. It's even before not CD-ROM, the DVD era, right? Yeah. Everybody loves porn. Everybody loves porn. So Jackie goes away to talk to somebody on the phone, and then he walks away. So the dude is like, "Oh, what's going on? What did he write?" He goes to do like the out sketch, and all he sees is a guy with a like rock hard dick. I'm like, "Oh shit." And then he kind of hides everything because Jackie's coming back, and he's sitting around. He's like, "I'm relaxed. Nothing happened."
No,
it's the most like
it's like a 5-year-old trying to get away with something. That's what it looks like.
Exactly. So Jackie gives him another White Russian, and he starts to drink, and lo and behold, he got laced.
So he goes, so if you could just give me that 10% of that $500,000, which is, what do you say? He says $5,000. I'll go out and I'll hang out. And the dude may abide, but he does not know math.
And Jackie says, I want to know where my money is. And then the dude says, well, it's at a creep kid who's like real antisocial, a guy, whatever, he's living there and there. And he sort of like drifts off and he falls. And of course,
it cuts to him.
It cuts to him in another dream scene where there's the music hasn't gone out of my head.
It's the gutter balls scene.
The gutter ball scene where there are dancers with like big pinheads on, sort of like I would say 50s style in terms of skirts and the headpiece. And
it's like late 50s, early 60s, very post-war.
Sort of post-World War art style, I would say. That's the girls, and Maud is like Brunhilde from...
definitely. She is... You nailed it. Just
she's Brunhilde from, like... Have you seen the Bugs Bunny Valhalla thing with Elmer Fudd?
Except for what's on her chest plate?
Yes, bowling balls.
Bowling balls.
Yeah, exactly. And also it's in a big bowling alley, so you gotta have to go to the counter to get your shoes. And the guy who gives you the shoes is, of course, Saddam Hussein. By the way, I had to check today because the last few months I was diving deep into movies that I haven't seen for a very, very long time. The guy who plays Saddam Hussein in the dream sequence is the same guy who played Saddam Hussein in Hot Shots Part 2.
Wow.
Yes.
Really?
Who fights Jeff Bridges' dad at the fight scene where they have in Iraq. It is so fucking good.
That's a callback to a
same guy. It's the same guy. He's well-known. He's a well-known Saddam Hussein impersonator. Remember, this came out in 1998. Talking about 1991, where Desert Storm, the first Gulf War, blah blah blah. So that's where the connection comes in. And I'm anyway. So the scene ends where
I do love the scene where when he grabs her to the typical thing where the coaching someone, like they typically do that with golf.
I know what you're talking about. When he guides her to throw the ball. When she throws, it's him.
He becomes the ball, but as he's twisting, all the ladies that were wearing all the twin head,
the dancers, we'll call them the dancers.
They're all set up along the row, so all their legs are split. He twists, and as he twists, it doesn't show it, but you can tell when he's facing the right way because his face just goes.
Yeah, the big smile runs over his face, and then he turns back in, hits the balls, and then of course it's darkness, and of course the three nihilists with a massive scissors try to cut off his Johnson, right? And he runs away.
So he's running.
Cut to he's running away in real life, but of course he's out of his mind. Gets caught by the Malibu police, not police, but the popo.
And what is he singing?
The
theme song to Branded.
Yes.
Branded.
And he goes a ton away. Branded. Anyway,
listen, Lebowski. Well, he gets into the sheriff's office where he has that conversation with the sheriff. Like, listen, I don't like you. I don't like your jerk off attitude. I don't like your jerk off lifestyle, and I don't like you jerk off. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
And
he throws the fucking coffee mug.
To cover him, hits him right in the head. He goes, fucking fascist.
Yeah. And he throws him to the floor. He's like, get out of Malibu, you fucking deadbeat. And he kicks him. And I was like, fucking 90s in LA was rough.
Yeah.
90s in LA was rough.
Then he gets in the cab with the cab driver. And he's playing the fucking Eagles. And guy just lost the track that they were playing there. But
it's not Hotel California. It's something else. I know what you mean.
It's not taking it easy.
You've seen it twice today. There's so much happening in this movie in these small little contained little scenes where we said there's no like act 1, act 2, act 3.
There's just subtle
the
little
small
acts.
little scenes. There's the scene with the like we said with the fascist officer in Malibu. There's the scene in the cab. There's a scene now with Walter coming up, and the like small little contained scenes where it keeps the plot going.
Yep.
So he listens to Eagles, and the dude's like, fucking Eagles, man. Could you switch it? It's like,
listen, man, I've had enough. Can you just change the radio dial? I've had a really rough day. He goes, you know, music, you can get your own fucking cab. He goes, listen, man, could you just please just change the radio station? I hate the fucking Eagles. The cab driver pulls over the side of the road, pulls him out of the cab, and just like, get the fuck out.
Which is, a little bit illegal even back then, I think, right?
No, it's not illegal. A cabbie can technically
not shove you out,
not physically eject you, but refuse to take you any further. Put it that way.
Yeah. Okay. So he basically,
it was if the
yeah,
it was got a peaceful, easy feeling. That's what it is.
yeah. And as soon as he gets ejected, we have a little bit of closure to the Bunny story, where we see Bunny literally go past him with the car, listening
She's
to
coming back.
Viva Las Vegas
Las
by
Vegas.
A rendition, not the Elvis Presley kind, but Viva Las Vegas. And we see her whole, and we definitely, it cuts to the toes.
We don't see her whole as in HOLE.
No.
WHOLE.
WHLE, exactly. We see her.
Because it pans down and it pans down and it shows her foot, and she has all of her toes. And then it cuts to the nihilist in the diner.
Yes,
where they're sitting there and they're like, "What was it?"
No. Before no. This it's a little bit further ahead. Yes, I thought it was this. No, the dude goes into the house and he opens up the house, and of course he forgot. By the way, when the two guys went to bring him to Jackie Treehorn,
I love the fact that also, like, he did I think where he was trying to put some kind of extra security to make sure that no one could break in. He nailed that. Paul, that piece.
We'll call it a 2x4. We'll call it a 2x4
to the floor. Put it up. Put that chair up against the door, but forgot that the door does not open this way. It opens this way. So when they open the door, the chair just goes
bloop. Yeah, and when he comes back home, he literally forgot it's there.
He trips over the 2x4.
Yeah. And when he trips, lo and behold, Maude comes in with his bathrobe, takes it off. You don't see nothing.
Jeffrey,
doesn't matter.
Jeffrey,
love me. Love me. Cut to them in bed, and she's asking him about where he comes from, and he says, "I'm a part of the Seattle 7," because it's him and six other guys.
It's like, oh yeah, you know that one thing. Yeah, I was part of the original writing people before they rewrote it and ruined it. And he goes, yeah, I was in the music business for a while. I was a roadie for Metallica.
Yeah. And he gets up.
And all of it. He's all full of shit. Well, he gets up because he
smokes it backwards. He literally smokes the fire end. And he literally gets up, takes his drinks, and him and her have a discussion about the money and the fact that it's not really his money. She gives him more of an explanation.
Basically it's Maude giving her father an allowance, and that's why because he was actually never really. He was never worth really a damn at all. It was all his mother's money. Yeah.
And it's basically her money. And,
and as he walks back in, she's doing the exercises where she's got her knees.
You don't. I've got it on screen, dude. I've got it on screen. And he goes in. He's like,
so what are you doing? Yoga?
Yeah.
He's like, no, it's for conception. And he's
and it's like, conception? It's like, what did you think we're doing here?
This is not just for fun, right? And don't worry about it. Like, I want to have a child, but I want to make sure the person I'm having a child with has no part in my life whatsoever. We won't even get around the same circles.
And then that's where it clicks for him, the thing with the doctor. So, that's why you sent me to the doctor.
He goes, that's what the doctor, and she goes, exactly.
Yeah. So at this point, everything kind of clicks for the dude, right?
He steps out for a second,
and he calls Walter, and on a Shabbos, right? He calls him on a Shabbos. This is Shabbos, right? So
listen. This is an emergency. And he goes, if you don't come and pick me up right now, I'm quitting the bowling team. And
that puts Walter in a life or death situation, and that means he can break the Sabbath, the Shabbat, whatever. Anyway,
he's waiting for that. He goes outside and he sees that blue beetle again.
Yes,
and he runs out to talk to him. He's like, "What? Why the fuck are you following me?" what's going on? He's like, oh,
And-
listen, like I'm a private investigator. Like, what are you?
No.
About?
He's a brother Seamus. And
Brother Seamus,
the dude was like, you're an Irish monk? And that's exactly what I thought when he said, I'm a
like,
brother
no.
Seamus. Yeah.
I'm a private dick. I'm a private eye.
Dick, man. And he goes, he tells
so
him
who are you working for? Lebowski's like, no, the
Knutsons. Who the fuck
are the Knutsons? He's like, no, they're this family, and we find out that it was Bunny. The Knutsons were Bunny's parents trying to find Bunny.
Fawn Knutson, that's her name, her real name. For me, the timeline doesn't work. It's the only fault I see in this movie. There's a very short time of I think it's 8 months. He's talking about 8 months. So in 8 months, she managed to come to LA.
It was a full year. It's
still very short time.
Yeah. So she but still in that full year, she not only got out to LA, got into the porn business, made a porn, got
married. Yeah, got married to the Lebowski.
Met the Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
Or Jeffrey Lebowski. And got married. And they seem to have a relationship that has at least gone on for, I would say, at least 6 months. So we're like, the timeline is.
Yeah, timeline. That's for me. You've seen this many times just this week, and I've seen it many times. Like this week, I've seen it twice, and of course, I did a lot of editing for the short version show. I've seen a lot of bits and pieces again with the editing part, but this always bothered me. The only fault that you can say. A misstep, just a misstep.
Well, that also
a tiny misstep.
When she left, the private eye there says that she was 17 when she left.
Yes.
So that means that like she just turned 18.
Yes.
Now.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's just say it's not uncommon in the porn business, especially in the 90s.
Yeah, it's not uncommon, but
Shall I invoke Tracy Lords?
Tracy Lords, yeah.
Yes.
That's the big one.
I'm invoking Tracy Lords. All right. So, have I put it up? I'll pull it up for a second. So, the thing I love about this, besides the interaction and everything, Delfino, who's the other private eye, he literally admires the dude because he said, "Oh, you're in bed with this guy, and you're in bed with this guy." So and Delfino is an actual good private investigator because he actually got all the he knows where the dude went. Yeah, he knows he went to Jackie Trino, and he knows he went to Maude, to the Big Lebowski, to every little piece. He knows what is going on and where the dude kind of stands, right? So he's actually a good private investigator because you're in bed with everybody, blah blah blah.
This was like, can we get together, compare notes? It's like, and I'll leave you alone. Like, yeah, just leave me and my special lady friend alone.
And
special lady friend. Oh, what a term. The dude
wants to be so precise about the description of Maude. It's like, she's not my fucking lady friend. She's my special lady friend. It's like,
friend. It's like,
okay.
He literally says, like, I was helping her conceive.
Yeah, I'm just helping her conceive. What do you want, man? All right. Before we end, not the whole podcast. Don't worry. We've got a few more scenes.
We got some sad stuff coming up too.
No. Before
it's really funny, but really
before we get into the last leg of the long podcast, because we're going to have a long podcast today. We're going to do cinema deathmatch, and I like it that we have a little bit more audience today. Bear in mind, you have a little bit of leeway in terms of about 20 seconds-ish of delay. But Cinema Deathmatch, what is Cinema Deathmatch? I'm going to pull up 2 movies from a website called flickchart.com. It has literally 2 random-ass movies, and we're going to pick which one is the best one. Now, it's not supposed to be the best one of the both, just what we think. Our criteria is very, very simple. At the end of the day, Friday night, Saturday night, we want to pop off a movie, want to watch it with the boys, with the girls, maybe with your special lady friend or your significant other. It doesn't really matter. You sit down, pop a DVD, pop a fucking stream. You don't, whatever you want to watch. Which movie do you want to watch? So without further ado.
And also, if Meph and I agree on one, it's over. Sorry, chat.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to go into... not this. No. Bang. There. Just make it a little bit bigger, and we're going to randomize this. This is not the pairing.
Yep.
And go. Up or 12 Monkeys. We are starting off rough.
12 Monkeys, because Up will make everybody fucking cry.
Evidently, these both are kind of sad movies.
Yeah.
Because 12 Monkeys is a bit of an act of futility, I would say. Yeah. I fucking love both of these movies. Up still makes me cry, and I do not cry from any fucking movie. Yeah. But it is also a Disney Pixar movie, which makes it a... Oh, I don't have my button. Fuck. My red button. Shit, I need to bring it for next time. Okay, so Shrek the Third or The Princess Diaries? Do you want me to start?
Why? I've seen them both. Go ahead.
It's Shrek the Third. And I'll tell you why. Shrek the Third was terrible. It's the one with Arthur. It's terrible.
I know. I'm aware.
But The Princess Diaries is so convoluted and bad. It is insane. I hate The Princess Diaries. I hate Shrek the Third too.
Have to also go with Shrek the Third because at least there was a joke in there that I enjoyed.
All right.
Sorry, Biffer.
The World Is Not Enough or The Usual Suspects. Wait, before I do my pick, I know what your pick. Your pick is The Usual Suspects. But my famous story with The Usual Suspect is I watched the start of the movie.
Oh, I know.
Fell asleep, got up before the end of the movie, and I've lost nothing from the story. It is The Usual Suspects. It's Kaiser Soze, bitch.
Kaiser Soze. Oh,
Mulan. Wait, this is Disney Mulan.
I know.
Is there any choice?
Train Spotting is so
Train Spotting all day, every day. All right.
Oh, Borat. Oh my God. If I'm watching it with friends, of course Borat.
Yeah, I know. Easy. Okay. I do not like any of the Harry Potter movies. I enjoyed the books extremely more.
You know, okay, we're going to put it this way because I think I've seen them both. I don't like Harry Potter. You know that. The Matrix, way after the first one was shit. So, you know what we're going to do is I'm going to put my vote up to the audience on this one.
Okay.
So.
We've got a Fuck Reloaded and we've got Potter. So it's going to be Potter.
Potter. That's fine.
Because we're Fuck Reloaded, man. Oh, shit. Oh no.
That's a good one. Oh.
We're going to end with this because I want to go back to Big Lebowski. Usually we do this for a little bit longer, but we're going to end with this because we're going to run long today. This is bad because I fucking love Ocean's 11.
I know. It's one of the best heist films of all time.
Adore The Princess Bride. It is absolutely perfect.
It's The Princess Bride for me. I mean, it's a classic. It is a classic. Exactly. Thinking of anything else would be what, Biffer? Inconceivable.
It would be inconceivable. All right. Oh, that was fucking insane. Oh, no, not. Are you fucking kidding me? There. Shut up. Not you. Not you. The fucking machine. Okay. So Walter picks up the dude and they drive to Lebowski's house. Walter gives him the whole spiel on, like, he wants to know why it is interfering with the Shabbos, with his Shomer Shabbos.
Yeah, you're right. There's a small conversation there.
This is where the dude kind of gets annoyed by Walter, because he was already annoyed by Walter because of their previous, previous conversation he had at the bar at the bowling place, right? And he's like, "You're not even fucking Jewish. You're Polish Catholic." And it's like, Walter says, "I converted to Judaism when I married Cynthia." And the dude goes, "But you divorced 5 years ago." And Walter says,
"I'm not giving up 300 years of Jewish."
Yeah. He says 3,000 years of history. It's 6. It's 6,000, you fucking moron. If you were Jewish, you would have known that. It's super easy. Our calendar up to like.
Well, I love the fact that
our special lady friend calendar, the Jewish calendar, goes up to 5,700 and something in 1991. So it's
what I find funny too is everyone that he states in there. I think he names one or two the apostles, kind of like I think he mentions John the Baptist once, and then he mentions just Jewish celebrities in the last 20 years. Right up to like all of this Jewish history, and then
it's like 3,000 years of history between Moses and Sidney Koufax, which is deep cuts.
Sandy Koufax. Yeah,
Sandy Koufax is like.
You mean
even in 1998,
baseball player from like 1930s?
Yeah, something like that.
Cool, man. You kind of skipped over like a good 28, 50 years or so,
or up to 1991, maybe. Like, I don't know. Name a famous fucking comedian in 1991.
I would say, like, had this taken place,
Seinfeld.
Had this taken place in 2001, he would have said Jerry Seinfeld.
Could be, but he's like,
or what would be even more meta if he would, like, the Coen brothers.
Yeah, that's so fucking true. So they drive up to the house, and of course they see
they see Bunny's car. Drove into the fountain.
Technically, they couldn't have known that this is her car, but they do go into the house, and she's taking off her clothes and jumping in the pool.
Yeah,
and
it's like, so she made it back, huh?
Yeah, it's like at this part, it seems like Walter kind of,
and he still has the Pomeranian.
Yeah, he still has the. By the way, that's not a real Pomeranian.
I know it's not a Pomeranian either. It's like it's a show dog. I'm like, if that's supposed to be a show Pomeranian, then somebody got really fucked over with that pedigree.
Yeah, because that
is not a Pomeranian.
A, not a show dog. B, definitely not a Pomeranian. I'm going to show a picture of a Pomeranian at the end of this podcast. It's not a Pomeranian. It's not a Pomeranian. Yeah, they go into the house.
It looks like a terrier. Just that are up close, but
it's definitely not a Pomeranian.
Yeah.
So they go into the house, and of course, Philip Seymour Hoffman greets them. It's like, dude, he's very upset, dude. Don't go in. He's very upset, but he doesn't actually physically accost them. He just tells them, don't go into the Big Lebowski's room, and it's like he's very upset.
He is the very pliant but pleasant major domo.
I would say so. And he doesn't know Walter, so he says, "Who is this man?
Is this guy?
Who is this man?" He says the dude, right? So, who is this man, dude?
Dude.
It's like, Who am I? I'm a fucking Vietnam vet. And I was
Vietnam
like,
vet.
oh, man, you fucking Walter. And they go in, and of course, they confront the Big Lebowski and they tell him, look, we know you got the money from the little urban achievers, and
Actually, the whole
there
thing
was
was
no
is like so you could basically launder the money and just say like, oh well, this guy
exactly
stole the money because I used it to pay this ransom because they
exactly
just
and
he just assumed the money was going to be gone.
and the Big Lebowski's got well. I can say that
so
I gave you the money. I believe that there's a kidnapping and you stole it, right?
He's like,
And the dude is like,
but who
go,
are they
go.
gonna believe?
Yeah,
that's what it really boils down to. It's like, yeah, so you blame it on me because the whole square world's gonna believe you instead of me.
well, wouldn't they?
Wouldn't they?
Yeah, exactly. Wouldn't they? And the dude is like, yeah. And they have nothing.
I love the dude's resignation. Like, well, yeah, duh.
And of course, Walter has to.
Walter's like, oh no, I've seen Spinals before. This guy's faking it.
Yeah, and it's like, this dude can fucking walk. I can swear on it. And he picks him up, and the dude says, why don't you put him down? It's like, I'll put him down, and he throws him into the floor. And it's like, obviously he is paraplegic, and it's like, and like the dude says, well, let me give him back in the chair.
Just get him, pick him up back in the chair. And the little dog walks up to him.
And he lifts
the Pomeranian.
Him. Yeah, the Pomeranian. And then the Big Lebowski kind of shoos him away. And basically, this is where the kidnapping money story ends.
Story just done.
It cuts. We have no resolve on where the money, if there was any money in the briefcase, right?
Yeah.
Because while the dude tells the story, we see kind of jump cuts to the Lebowski puts two yellow pages inside that little Halliburton briefcase, I would call it. You know, the silver case. And you don't get it because the Big Lebowski does not admit it. The dude can't prove it. The Lebowski says, nobody's going to fucking believe you. And the dude's like, I agree. And that's where the story, the ransom story, the money story, it ends. It literally ends that there and there. And we don't get any resolution on where the money, if there wasn't any money, nothing.
So
and for a long time, that kind of bothered me. I like it. I like it.
You have to let it go because that's really the crux of the film. Which I was
why do you have to let it go? Because you're sympathizing with the dude, and the dude let it go.
Well, and I really think that's the real message of the film is some things are really just beyond your control. You
have to let it go.
Let it go. You can't control everything.
But it's not the end of the movie yet because we have to go back. You have to go back.
The bowling alley.
The bowling alley again. Now, there's two things here before they go out of the bowling alley. One, and I'm actually want to key it up. It's let me second. Okay. 3 times in this movie, and I said it before, 3 times in this movie, we see Donnie throw a ball. First time, he does a strike, and he's like, ooh, I'm hot tonight. Second time, he throws it. Oh, I'm smacking it today. And the third time is where he throws, everything goes clear, and you think everything is another strike, but no, one pin stays upright. Yeah. And you see Steve Buscemi face, he smiles, and the smile kind of vanishes.
Fades.
Right? And that's the omen for what's about to come. That's number one. And I said it's sort of very interesting that he's like once, twice, not 3 times a lady, but you know.
Well, then also, if you would have gotten the 3 strikes in a row, you know what that means, right? He would have gotten a turkey.
Okay.
It's a bowling term.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what's the significance of a turkey apart from it being a food.
Being outrageously lucky and fortunate.
Okay. Okay. So, of course, because we are Shomer Shabbos, the game has been transferred to a Wednesday. So Quintana is obviously being super pissed, and this is why I love this character so much.
Just a Turo scene in this, he goes, "Oh, see, I didn't say you were gonna play this fucking religious shit, huh? Oh, yeah. See, I'm not gonna fuck you on a Saturday. I fuck you next Wednesday instead."
Like, it does come right after Walter giving the dude kind of a conversation. Oh, we were in Nam. We were eyeball to eyeball. Not today, where you've got a few people with towels over their heads trying to find a reverse. No, trying to find a reverse on a Soviet tank, which, to be fair, was exactly it.
They very apropos in a way, but also he uses a different epithet, which is way worse.
I said I'm skipping over that, but he said people running around with towels over their heads and trying to find a reverse on a Soviet tank, which is in writing. Oh, so good. But yeah, it's got Quintana over here being super crazy about like having the game transferred to Wednesday. It's Bush League psycho stuff, right?
Oh yeah, and if you try to pull that shit on me, I take that piece from your hand, I shove it up your ass, and I pull the trigger until I hear it click.
I still use it today. My favorite line of the movie. The Walter scene with the car, my favorite scene, my favorite line in this line where I take it away, I shove it up your ass, and I pull the trigger until I hear click. Oh,
Jack the Turtle's amazing in this movie. Yeah, he's so good in this movie.
So of course they go out of the bowling alley.
As they go out of the bowling alley, the first thing that it pans out, and you just hear that you go, "Oh God, they finally did it. They killed my car."
Because the car—that's
his car in the background.
During the movie, the car gets shot at.
Stolen.
Uses collision.
The bathroom.
Yeah, uses the bathroom. Collision, because he hit like when the roach falls and he tries to put it away. He collides
beat to hell by the neighbor.
Yeah, beat to hell by the neighbor, and now it's totally dead because it's burned out. So they finally did it. They finally killed this car. So these guys, the nihilists,
we want the money, Lebowski.
It's like, dude, you. It's like you never had the girl.
There is no money. It was like, oh, we killed the girl. You never had the girl. There was no girl.
And Donnie, of course, he's out of his element. It's like, are
these
guys Nazis? Are these Nazis, Walter? It's like, no, Donnie, they're nihilists. Yeah, they're cowards.
No, after they was like,
it's like,
after they go through their spiel a bit, like, but we still want the money. Yeah. And it was Peter Stormare. He was like, he cut it. His girlfriend cut their toe off, said we're going to get $1 million.
And Walter's like, "What like fucking crybabies?
Fucking crybabies?" And Walter's like, "Should we be afraid of them?" And that's when Walter goes, "No." Yeah,
Walter said,
Donnie,
"No, they're
cowards. They're cowards."
So,
like, well, so you give us all the money in your wallet, and we call it even. And Donnie immediately goes, "I've got $18."
Yeah, and the dude cuffs up with like, "I've got $4."
I got $4. And Walter's like, "No, you're not getting nothing from me."
Exactly. So he throws the bowling ball at Fleet, gets him down. He like goes to Peter Stormare, drops his sword, and he does a Mike Tyson on it. He Mike Tyson's his ear, and the tall guy,
Mike Tyson did it,
and the tall guy. He goes like
squared off with the dude, like,
I fuck you.
I fuck you. And the dude the whole time like, just take the money. Just take the money.
The money. And of course, and Walter comes in with the little boombox thing, and he hits the tall guy and gets him out.
Well, the thing that he says to Peter Stormare after he bites his ear off, he spits it in the air. Peter Stormare looks up, and as he looks down, it's
Walter,
he goes, anti-Semite. It's like,
but you just said they're not Nazis. They're nihilists.
He punches him, and earlier in the film, he goes, "Well, say what you will about the National Socialist Democratic Party, but at least it's an ethos."
Yes, exactly. It is. It's a wrong one, but it is anyway. So they hit the nihilists because they're a bunch of fucking nobodies. And of course,
and we did miss on one thing way back at Mods before. We found out that Peter Stormare's character, he was also in Log Jammin', the porn with Bunny Lebowski, but he was also part of a German techno funk pop band called Autobahn.
Yeah, and
they had one record in 1978.
Yeah, and this is the group, basically. Yeah. These three are the group, the Autobahn. So, of course, they see Donnie, and the dude says, "Oh, Donnie's been shot."
No. Walter says, "We got a man down. We got a man down." He's like, "Oh, we got a man down." Shot? He goes, no. He didn't get shot. No, he's having a heart attack.
Yeah. I was like, no shots were fired. He's just having a heart attack, and the dude literally runs into the
yeah. Because Walter says like I would run, but right now I'm.
Yeah.
If you look like, I think this is the first time Walter had actually ever seen real combat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, it's like for real. Adrenaline is too much. I'll take care of him. Go.
You can barely, if you hear it at a very high volume, you can hear Walter says, "The choppers are coming, dude. The choppers are coming, Donnie." It's like, where the fuck are you? No chopper's gonna come. It's just an ambulance.
Is it a PTSD thing, or is that still his ego trying to keep himself in check? So
it's up to the imagination of the watcher or the viewer, but I personally believe it's him trying to act out what he saw in a movie or something.
Yeah.
Not real life. So of course they
unfortunately this is a point where it gets a little bit sad because Donnie dies. And they go into the mortuary where they have him cremated because they're at the funeral parlor and they're squabbling over the cost of an urn. Or they're like, so this is $150. Is there any other cheaper option? They're like, well, this is actually our most affordable option. And what do you say?
But we're about to. Oh, it's our most moderately priced receptacle.
It's cool. But what does he ask him?
Go ahead. I don't.
Is there a Ralph's nearby?
That's that's a little grocery shop, right? Ralph's is a grocery shop. Well, so they pick up a large. Yeah, they pick up a large tin of Folgers, basically.
Yeah. Well, basically, like Ralph's is where the dude was at the beginning of the movie. It's a grocery chain in the United States, but it's really like a prominent,
like a mini supermarket.
Yeah. It's basically a supermarket, basically. Yeah, that's what it is.
But it's not a big Target. It's like a small one. All right, so they go in, they basically get a Folgers coffee, empty it out, and that's where they take the remains. I'm just gonna, when he gives them the bill, and the dude hands in his hand, but Walter actually grabs it and kind of takes a look and gets annoyed by the bill.
Bifford nailed the line there. Can we just rent it from you, man? Sir, read the last one.
And of course, one last time before we end the movie, Walter has to talk about Nam. So he tries to give
they're at a certain point there's a little bit of touchy thing where you can actually see that they actually had a genuine friendship, because he's actually talking about Donnie as a person where we never got to understand Donnie or even know who he
we didn't get any backstory. We didn't know where
him talking about the fact that he surfed and that he loved the ocean. I think that was actually all heartfelt for the character, and anything for Donnie. So spreading his ashes in the ocean was pretty apropos for him. But then all of a sudden he's like, well, but he passed like too many young men that died in
In
the muck. It's
Caisson,
like,
in Londoc, in Heel 357. It's like,
then
what the fuck, man? Why? No.
no,
And like we
then
said, we said it. I think we said it in privately, where we said, well, we don't actually know where he was stationed, and all the places he says in his like sort of an obituary, not obituary, but his final goodbye.
it is, well, his
It's
eulogy.
places where
his eulogy.
the eulogy,
Yeah.
that's the word. So that all the places are like very, very famous battles.
Famous. So like, and also that, well, and I fought in the Tet Offensive. What?
He didn't say
No?
that. No, he didn't say that.
No, him saying something like that would be something that he would say, though.
Yeah. So of course they're scattering the ashes. So he opens up the Folger tin, and of course, when you're standing on a cliff
downwind
in front of the ocean, the wind is going to come from west to east because that's how the world works. And he scatters the ashes,
and it
goes into him and into the dude's fucking face. So the dude has a face full of Donnie. I want to capture the exact moment. So come on, man. Anyway, he literally is like this, and he opens up the tin,
and
he shakes it off. Oh, come on, gimme. Oh, you son of a bitch. Come on. I want to the exact. Oh, there we go.
Yep.
He's got a fucking face full of Donnie. Not a face full, like a whole body full of Donnie. And
I love it. Like, as he shakes it out, and then he bangs the bottom of the coffee tin. Like, he turns around and goes, "Oh shit, I'm sorry, dude." Just brushing him off, and he's like, fuck you, Walter. What was that Vietnam shit?
Yeah.
And then I think this is the only point where the two of them actually have a genuine moment of grief over the loss of their friend.
Yeah, because Walter's I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
They actually embrace
it
hug. Like, and it's like, well, and both the tones, their voice, because they do it. Both like Jeff Bridges, of course, is an amazing actor, and of course is John Goodman. But the resignation and the sorrow in their voices and the tone says volumes. Where they both they're both deeply and profoundly sad, and when they hug each other, it's like, oh, you really did lose a friend here. Okay, I get that they've been friends for years, and this is how they're dealing with it. And then it goes all right back to
the bowling alley. And before we get any interaction, it kind of harkens back to where the movie started, where you have not the actual start, but where you have the credits after the narration. You have the credit scene where you see the bowling alley and the mundane stuff that happens in it. But this time is without a lot of people. It's mostly the day-to-day cleaning. Like, this is the part where you actually see a bowling ball, but you see the guy who cleans the lanes and the machine working. That's why I said it's sort of a reverence to not only the bowling game, but sort of the bowling alley. More the bowling alley, where the people congregate, where the people get to and play bowling. Because you see all the back end machinery and how the pins kind of line up. And like I said, the cleaning, it all kind of, it seems like an homage to bowling. I would say, especially this bit.
Not only this, but this is going to come up to Sam Elliott's last remarks coming up. That kind of reaches back to the cycle of the bowling alley, that how we talked about all the way through. And by the way, this is the song that I was gonna play.
Oh, this song, not the song from the
Yeah,
start.
yeah.
Okay, that's okay. That's cool.
Roses on Your Grave. This is the song I was gonna play. but
So the whole point is the Gary the bartender, where you don't see Gary the bartender. He's just like, what's going on, dude? It's like,
dude, is it?
and then the dude says, well, sometimes meet the bear.
No, he says, no, Gary the bartender says, I'm really sorry to hear about Donnie, but because everything was like, well, sometimes he eats the bar and sometimes the bar eats you. And he looks over and he sees Sam Elliott.
Yeah. And they have a little interaction. It's like, I know you're gonna be okay. And the dude is like, the dude abides.
The dude abides. And then it pans into the
it literally goes
it
goes into like this fourth wall breaking where the narrator does speak to us, but at this instance he actually looks into the camera and he talks to us, the audience, and it's like it's a comfort to know that a guy like the dude is out there doing
because
he
says the dude abides. I take some kind of comfort in that. And it was I had a lot of laughs at some of it. And he goes, I really hated to see Donnie go, but
which is super fourth wall breaking.
Yeah, and he goes, but I take comfort in the fact that there's a little Lebowski out there coming up in the world very soon. I think that's how the human race, just the great big comedy of life, just keeps perpetuating itself. That leads back to the everything with the bowling alley, with how lively it is, the cleanup, and then everything's a cycle, and you can't avoid.
He keeps talking, and the ride out west of the. Oh, look at me! I'm rambling
on.
Yep. Yeah, rambling on. And just to finish things off,
the last thing he says is like, can I get another one of those sarsaparillas?
Yes. And I don't, like I said it in my reaction video. I have no idea, but I would like to think that the camera pans out from Sam Elliott into the bowling alley where the guy comes into the shot, picks up a ball, throws it, and it's a strike. Now, I want to think it was a one shot, but I don't actually know. I tried to find out today, couldn't tell you. If it's a one shot, I couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
The camera pans out into the bowling lanes. I can't really show it. I want to show it, but
no, I know. But
he talks because Sam Elliott
shot.
Talks into the camera, and then it kind of leans sideways where he talks to Gary to get the sarsaparilla, and then it leans over his shoulder to the bowling alley where it was a little bit blurred. Then the guy comes in. As soon as it's unblurred, the guy comes in, he throws, and you're led to believe it's a strike. Right. But you only see the ball hit the pins and dark screen, and it goes into the credits. So I would like to think it was a one shot, like a one take, I would say, not one shot. Take, one take.
But
all right,
that was it. That's
about wraps it all up. Not yet, but it wraps up the actual movie. Give me your summary of this movie. Likes, don't likes, anything that we haven't covered in this very extensive podcast.
I think, again, the only things that I don't like about this movie is, again, the timeline about Bunny, which has always been kind of a stickler for me. But again, you kind of let it go just because it's supposed to be a comedy at the end of the day. And then the other bit is that the movie ended. That's my big gripe, is that the movie ended. I want more. I wanted more. And unfortunately, what we got was a very, 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 very bad offshoot sequel.
It's a good thing I was never aware of that.
It's terrible. It's terrible. But I think ultimately, I think this is the Coen brothers' best film. This again is, again, either my favorite or second favorite comedy of all time, and it's definitely my top 10 films of all time. This is a movie I could watch endlessly. Again, I watched it 2 times today already. I watched it 6 times this week.
Yeah. Like I said at the start of the podcast, my second most favorite movie after Shawshank Redemption, if Star Wars trilogy wasn't actually there. Mm-hmm. If we take out Star Wars, that's my one two. This is my favorite John Goodman performance. One of my favorite Jeff Bridges performances. If I place it down nitty gritty, might be my favorite Jeff Bridges performance of all time. Might be. For me, personally, it's very, very subjective. It's very, very personal. And yes, that's like my opinion, man. But it is a movie that when I saw it the first time, and I said it in the podcast, I think I liked it, but when I watched it the first time, I didn't know why I like it. I had to watch it again and again and again. It's the not ha comedy. It's the subtle comedy. It's the wordplay. It's the oddball situations that are plausible, because you have oddball situations in comedies where it's outlandishly crazy. Naked Gun, Airplane, Top Secret. That's like outlandishly crazy. You have the parodies like Spaceballs, Hot Shots, outlandish. Mm-hmm. Here, it's real life situations. Yes, a little bit extreme with the whole ransom thing, not ransom thing. Yes, it's a little bit crazy, but it's very believable. It's very grounded. It's very of its time. The LA police, the LA bohemians in Maud and the other guy, the nihilists, which are a failed band, a small-time girl running to LA to become an actress and ending up in a porn. So everything is very, very believable, including the dude, including even the landlord as well. Every character is very, very believable, very grounded, but a little bit off kilter.
Yeah. I have to say, too, I love the fact that this film places a definitive timeline on it, so you can't put your own sort of current timeline perspective and morals and apply it to them, because they are not what was going on at the time. It was clearly based in the early 90s. So that's why it was just...
And like Biffer said, Brent, the lackey, very specific character. Not only that, you believe every single actor in this movie, you believe that they're that character. Mm-hmm. You 100%. Don't see the actors. In some movies, you see the actors in that. Mm-hmm. In this one, they are those characters. Those are not the actors, right?
And it's not overly method too.
No. But if you've seen Steve Buscemi in other movies, he's definitely not Donnie.
Oh yeah.
Definitely not Donnie. If you've seen them in Reservoir Dogs, definitely not Donnie. Yeah. So super, super believable. 10 out of 10 would watch again and all 100%. That good shit.
Every time.
Okay, so little bit on the very close to not doing it because of life and living, but we do have a short version of The Big Lebowski. So before to wrap it all up in a nice little bow, before we do the short announcement, we said it last week. Next week, we are going to watch Training Day with Ethan Hawke and the absolutely ginormously awesome Denzel Washington. Not only that, we will have our first guest, Mello from Melloverse. It's a first time reaction video channel. We're gonna have Mello as a third kind of, a third member of our little triangle, and we'll see. We haven't talked to him in this kind of setting. It's going to be great. I love the movie. The movie's fucking awesome.
I think it's still
haven't
Denzel
watched
Washington's
it.
best role of his entire career.
I agree, but we don't want to elaborate
Alonzo
too much.
is just
We're going to talk about it afterwards. Also, Eva.
Eva Mendes.
Eva Mendes. We're gonna talk all about it with Mello next week. So go out, watch Training Day this week, and come back to us next Saturday, 8 p.m. UK, 3 p.m. Eastern, and 12 p.m. Pacific, or wherever you are in the world. Adjust to your time. Or if you can't watch us live, come watch us with the podcast.
Okay,
Let's go.
A short version.
The dude. Where's the money, Lebowski? Chinaman has the wrong nomenclature. Market zero. That's a bummer, man. Nobody fucks with the Jesus. Fuck it. Let's go bowling. Shomer Shabbos. His dick, or his rod, or his Johnson. There's a beverage here, man. I can get you a tow. Nice marmot. I'll check with the boys down at the crime lab. Who gives a shit about the marmot? Sometimes you eat the bar, and sometimes they eat you. Seriously, who is this guy near the In-N-Out burger? Is this your homework, Larry? You see what happens, Larry, when you fuck a stranger in the ass. Jackie Treehorn wants to see the deadbeat Lebowski. Where of the future, dude? 100% digital. The condition my condition was in. Stay out of Malibu, deadbeat Jeffrey. Love me. It increases the chances of conception. I'm a brother Seamus. This guy can fucking walk. What's this day of rest shit? Are these Nazis, Walter? No, Donnie, they're nihilists. This is our most modestly priced receptacle. Donnie who loved bowling. The dude abides. The dude abides. Good night, everybody. I'm going to rest. I'm going to rest. The Mephisto abides.
Okay.
All my feeling abides. Next week, Training Day with Mello from Melloverse. At Mephisto on Twitter. Follow me there. At Mephisto79 on Instagram. Follow me there if you want to. Also subscribe. If you watch this not live, subscribe to this channel. Share it around. If you find it funny, hilarious, good, not good, share it around. It helps us so much. And I'll see you next week. See you, buddy. Graphics. Where's the graphics? There we go.